Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another noodle film review. Tonight we're looking at a classic giallo film directed by Dario Argento, and it's called The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Now I do believe this is one of his first movies. It's filmed around sort of 1969, 1970, 71, that sort of time. No need to correct me in the comments. I'm not really after the facts. I'm just giving you an average sort of date of when the film was made. This is a typical Argento style of film. It's very sort of extremely well filmed in a sort of very artistic sort of photography, and I love that about his films. They bring a real sort of different sort of perspective to the way the film looks, and it's the magnificent. Lately, I've been really heavily getting into the giallo films. I've just found them really fascinating. And they're just fantastic. And this one it's a great story. This one, it's really cool. And for one of his first movies, if not his first, it's fantastic story. The film sort of starts with, we've got this American guy who's, I think he's some sort of, I don't know if he's some sort of historian or writer or something like that, but he's in Italy doing some sort of work for, it looks like some sort of like animal sort of a museum almost. We've got all these birds. And he's planning to go back to America. Anyway, he's walking his way back to his flat where he lives with his girlfriend, and he looks across at this building. This building has this big pane glass window sort of like opening, and he's caught, I think he's caught the shadows of something happening, and he looks into this building from across the road, and he sees these two figures fighting on top of the stairs. One is a woman, and the second one is one of our classic giallo sort of killer lookalikes with the mask, the black trilby, the black gloves, wearing all black. You know, it was just sort of like unrecognizable, and they're fighting. So he goes over because he sees the guy jump down and run away, and the woman is sort of struggling. She looks like she's been stabbed in the stomach. And now when he gets to the building, there is two sort of window doors, and he goes through the first one into the sort of like bit in between the doors, and the door shuts behind him, but he cannot reach the girl on the other side because that won't open. So he's stuck between these two plain glass sort of doors, and he feels helpless as we see the girl sort of struggling, and she's sort of bleeding from the stomach, and she's crawling everywhere, and he keeps shouting to her, you know, you're okay, open the door, like this, but she can't hear him because I think this glass must be sort of like sort of, I don't know, bulletproof, whatever, but they can't hear each other through it. And then he keeps trying to find ways, and he looks very anxious. He's pacing up and down because he sees this girl struggling. And then there's some old man sort of like comes on the outside of the window, and he sort of asks him to open the door, and he can't understand what he's saying. So, well, you know, call the police. Call the police. So he goes away, and he tells the girl that he's got someone to call the police. So he sort of settles down and sits on the floor in between these two panes of glass, while this girl is still sort of like stretching out for help, but he can't do nothing about it. Eventually the police arrive, and we meet our detective, and we meet the woman. She's not dead. She's just been badly injured. She's not even in danger of dying or anything. So she gets taken off to a hospital, and then the detective starts questioning our guy what he's seen, and and as he's doing this, the husband of the woman turns up, who's the owner of this art gallery. It looks like some sort of art gallery, and he said he's come to pick her up, and so he doesn't know what's going on. Anyway, so our man's been taken to the police station, and he's gone through the story a number of times to the police, and I don't know this woman. I don't know what's happened to her. You know, I've no idea. I've never met her before in my life, sort of thing. And he tells him that he's planning to go back to America. Anyway, so the policeman asks to see his passport and sort of confiscates his passport off him, so he can't leave. So he phones the airport and cancels his flight, because obviously he's still needed there for the investigation of what's happened to this girl. And then the policeman sort of discloses to him that there's been 3 murders in the city, all to women, and they think that this is connected. That's why they want him to stick around, see if he remembers anything. I don't think they're sort of semi-accusing him, but they know it's not him. But you know, they're trying to scare him into giving information, I expect. Anyway, he's allowed out, and he starts making his way home, and he's walking through these sort of really foggy streets. You can't really see very much, apart from he's being followed. And he's walking down this sort of street, and then he sort of bumps into this old woman and shouts, "Look out!" And he quickly turns around, and then someone takes a swing at him with some sort of like an axe or a machete, and he ducks and it misses. But so this guy then runs away. So he's been attempted to be killed. Someone's attempted to kill him and got away. And then so he starts head back to his flat, and this is where we meet his girlfriend, who's waiting for him in bed. And she's there, and he explains to her about his day, how he witnessed a near-miss homicide, and how he nearly got sort of like, he got questioned by the police, and now he's not going back to America, and how he nearly got killed by this guy, nearly murdered, and she's so blasé about it. Anyway, so they sort of settled down in bed for some sort of intimate time, and he keeps getting little flashbacks back to the incident, and you can see that he sees that our killer wearing all black and stuff like that, so he's getting these little flashbacks. Anyway, so I think we join him again on the next day, and he's back with the police again, trying to help them with their investigation, and they've got this sort of lineup of suspects of people that are sort of well-known sort of criminals, and he doesn't recognise any of them, but they're trying their best to sort of pinpoint this on someone. So what's happening? Who is this? You know, who is it that's trying to kill this girl? Is it the same man that's killing the other murders? Is there going to be more killings in the film? You need to watch it and find out. What do I think of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage? It's amazing. It's a fantastic film. It's a very, very well filmed, artistic, Argento classic movie. And like I said, for one of his first movies, it's absolutely stunning. And the story sets the standard and high bar of sort of like forthcoming giallos after that point. He's very well known for his input to the giallo scene, along with sort of like Mario Bava and all these kind of wonderful Italian directors. But this is absolutely fantastic. The pluses of this 4K edition, this is Arrow release on 4K. It looks really, really nice. To be honest, I don't think it looks too different to the Blu-ray release, to be quite honest. There is a little bit of nice sort of deep coloration and deep blacks in the film, which is really, really nice. But is it worth the upgrade if you've already got it? I would say no. I mean, I got it on 4K because I got it on a good offer, and I didn't own it. So I thought, well, I'll pick up the 4K because it was cheap on the Shocktober thing. So I thought, well, I'll get it to 4K because it was a couple pound more than the Blu-ray. So that's why I've got the 4K edition, but it still looks really, really nice. It's got 2 versions of the films. It's got the English and the Italian. Of course, I'm going to watch the English. It just saves me trying to keep up with subtitles and things like that, especially when you're tired. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. The acting's pretty cool. All the I think the giallos in Italy were more better acted than, say, like the horrors and the sort of like cannibal movies and stuff. I think the acting in the giallos was a little bit stepped up a little bit. Um, because it is kind of like Italian's own sort of genre, if you like, and it's pretty really well acted. I really enjoyed it. The story is phenomenal, absolutely fantastic, great story, and it really grabs you straight from the start. You're just thinking, because you feel for this guy, because you feel so helpless, because he can't get to this poor woman that's been brutally attacked, and he feels, you know, helpless. So you sort of feel that frustration. And then you also feel his frustration at the police. It's like, you know, he's given them all the information he can give, but they still want him to stick around in case he can be of any more use. So you can feel for him a little bit. But it's really well acted, and the story unfolds to a sort of ending that you wouldn't expect. So it's really, really cool, and I love that. Um, there is some good sort of kills in the film. It's really good. Minus is it is a giallo, so it is a slow-paced film. It is a more detective sort of story than a full-on sort of slasher. But I like that. It's really, really cool. So I'm going to score this an amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic film. I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because it does lack a little something, the shock value. It lacks shock value, where some giallos have that, like Tenebrae and things like that, have some real good shock value to the film, and Suspiria. But this one, it's a detective story, and it's amazing. Bird with the Crystal Plumage at 9 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. I think it's one of his best works, to be honest. My favourite Argento film is Opera. I absolutely love that film. And I think this is a second. I think this could be... I'm lying. My favourite is Tenebrae, then Opera, and then probably this. I will probably do a top 10 Argento one day. I'll probably get round to that. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's top class Argento, him at his finest. I suppose because he was young, so his mind was more adventurous and want to do more. And because he released film after film after film. I think one year he released 2 or 3 films a year at some point, because he you know, he's got so many ideas, and they're all wonderful, absolutely fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed this short review of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage 4K edition. Until my next video, please check out some great horror channels for me. Check out Horror Hands, The Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzoel, I Am the Ice Lord, Cat Watches Horror Movies, and of course a massive shout out to my son. Hope you're doing well, mate. I'll be seeing you next week, or actually when this video goes out I'll probably with him, or we've had that visit, but anyway, I'm seeing him next week, so I'm looking forward to that. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope that I will see you all soon.